Welcome back, folks. Path to Recovery podcast. We're talking about episode 4, What Are My Beliefs? And this is the final part, part 4. The next step is to evaluate the truth behind the belief. Why do I believe it's true? And does this actually cause harm to anyone? Not just myself, to anybody else. And real simply, is it negative? Or does it provide love, happiness, or peace to others, as well as myself? Then ask yourself the question, does this belief make sense to be part of my healing? That's either a yes or no, folks. There's no guessing and there's no multiple answers. It's yes or no. Does that belief make sense as part of your healing? Now, let's try to imagine a healthy belief to replace that negative belief. What could bring peace to you? And then what could bring peace to others? When you look at that belief and you look at the words that you wrote down for your belief, when you see that and you've dissected it down to its core, down to its root, looking at it again, can you change that belief so that it'll bring peace to you? The next part is to integrate this new belief into your everyday life. Integrate, lock it in. Make sure it's something that you truly deeply believe and you will never veer from, because you know that belief is part of your new, healing, healthy self. Some people create these things called mantras. I say this every day when I wake up. It's to help me start my day right. Great, whatever it takes. So check this out. I do not need that negative belief in my life anymore, whatever that negative belief is. I do not need alcohol in my life anymore. I do not need food addictions in my life anymore. I do not need to keep thinking poorly of others anymore. Wake up with the belief that you deserve to be healed. I do not need this addiction. I do not need this negative belief. I welcome this day without the need for my addiction or negative approach. I choose to be clean, sober, and happy. How about this one, folks? Give me one more hour. Just give me one more hour. You want to make it less? Give me one more minute. Give me 10 minutes of trying to find peace. Because you can't have a good hour without a good minute. And you can't have a good day without a few good hours. I promise to stay away from whatever it is that's driving me downward today. Now understand, folks, everything that we talked about, it doesn't mean you're going to do it. It just means that you're trying your best. You have to believe it. You have to feel it deep in your heart and soul that you're going to do your best. I promise to stay away from my addiction for today. If you don't, that's okay. Try again tomorrow. I'm not saying it's good that you keep getting high. I'm saying you try. Put forth the effort. If you stumble, take my hand. Let's get up and try it again, because I've been there. Ultimately, folks, don't ever forget that everything that happens in your life will come from what you believe. It creates those core values that we mentioned earlier. The values build our thoughts. How do we think? What are we thinking about? And those thoughts end up stimulating our emotions, and that is what produces our behaviors and our actions. Why do we get angry? Why are we giddy? Why do we giggle? Why do we mumble? Why do we punch the wall? It all stems from the belief. You're never walking this path alone. We'll say it in every episode. Every booklet that we write, we say this to clarify with everybody that you're never walking alone. There's a lot of us out there, thousands if not millions, willing to help in your process. And some of these people, you may be surprised at who they are. Spiritual leaders actually are a great asset in your growth. Bosses, it can happen. If you're in the right job and the boss is really compassionate, if you forget things, then it might be time to talk to your boss and say, look, I need to have some help. I'm trying to get this thing figured out and I'm stumbling and I've got nowhere to turn. Your boss may actually have a family member that has gone through the similar situation and might give you a direction for a therapist or for a spiritual leader. Your coworkers, it might be the same thing. Business owners, tour guides, yoga instructors. But ultimately, guys, we love to tell everyone that there is always God. God is always there to help us through everything. As long as we allow our heart and soul to do the talking and not our mind, which is filled with thoughts driven by a belief system that we don't believe in God, or that we don't believe God is good, or that we don't believe that God can help us. We are all together as one in this path to recovery, folks. Thank you very much for joining me on this extended podcast. I know it's long. It's a lot of information. The good thing is you can listen to it over and over again. You can rewind it. You can find the specific parts, especially when I was going through the processes. But remember, folks, we love you. We want you to be healthy, happy, and healing. Whatever the issues are, we want to help you through it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been doing this. So may you be walking with patience today and understanding that step by step, we get to walk together. Thank you very much, and we will talk to you next time.